Welcome to the Post Show Podcast with your hosts, Paul Richards, Tess Protesto, and Michael Luttermoser. Let's talk shop.
Welcome, broadcast engineers, audiovisual experts,
and event streamers.
Event streamers, that's what
I cut you off.
That was good.
I knew it was coming.
David Peltz was at our office not long ago. Gave us some good ideas. Thank you
for the amazing information for today, in which we stole a lot of from you, David.
So for the podcast listeners, let's prime this up. Mike, you've been,
I'm ready to pump everyone up. Show me the money.
Yeah, baby.
Show me the money.
It's true. It's true. You know, live streaming events does not happen free. It doesn't happen easily. And you have to pay for setup and breakdown people. Okay? It's the way it works. So we're going to, people don't just come and live stream your event for free. Now, there's new things coming out that make streaming easier. There's new ways of thinking about live streaming that makes your event more successful. And it's the bridge to the world, to your event, to your idea, to your product brand. So that's the important part to consider here, is that this is your event's sold out. Hopefully it will be once you start live streaming it, right? But your event's sold out. That's only a very small portion of the people that you're going to affect. The people that are willing to pay for your book, your product, your service, your virtual ticket, which we'll talk about those in a little bit as well. Very nice meeting you, D. White.
Oh,
yes.
Is D. White the impromptu cameraman?
Yeah, thank you for helping me film that video, by the way. You are the man.
I couldn't believe he forced you to do that when you met him. That was so funny.
Come around, in a circle of 5 miles of me, and I will make you live stream something.
If you're wondering who we're talking to on the podcast, we do live stream the production of our podcast on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. You could watch video there if you'd like.
So let's set this up, quickly cover our tracks here, and then we're going to jump in just an active chat room talking about this subject. So many of us are very excited about the live streaming industry. I think it's really just budding. There's so much opportunity. We're just trying to uncover opportunities from small businesses to local churches to theaters to major brands, companies, corporations.
Anybody and everything.
It's incredible.
I don't know if you shared this with me, this presentation.
Anybody who has a business who wants to get their message out, essentially. And we've kind of thrown ourselves out into the world and said, hey, we know how to live stream, and we have.
Yeah.
6 months ago, we were live streaming a bar, showing their latest seasonal, and they really loved it. Yes. It was their most watched video, probably still is, pinned to the top of their Facebook page. And then we helped a small boutique literally do like a QVC style. Here's my latest wallpaper, and this is how much it costs with the beautiful lower third. And we were zooming in with one camera and then showing a wide shot of the beautiful space. And so we did that. What else did we do? We did
kind of the story of, for another local business, a handbag designer, which was really fun one, interviewing her about her passion and drive and the whole shebang.
That was really neat because we got to live stream her behind the scenes, like the process of making one of these bags. I thought that was really cool.
For that one, we set up a camera right next to her sewing machine. We
a Z-cam.
Set up a Z-cam right there. We had a couple different cameras we had like 2 sets going.
Yeah.
And she fully made a bag on that show. Then we live streamed a fashion show.
That one was a good learning experience for us.
Yes.
But that's kind of the goal of all this. The reason that we do these pro bono cases, yes, to help our community, but also to create examples for our audience of what can be done with live streaming and to inspire you to take similar routes, because we know how successful it will be for people. And that's why we do it.
Totally. And I think that I was mentioning earlier, like the growth that we're going to see over the next 3 to 5 years is incredible. And I think people forget sometimes, it's no one's fault, that like every small town has a fashion show. Every big town has a fashion show. Every major city might have 5 to 10 fashion shows going on. So it's just like, that's just one thing of the many, many, many types of live streams. So we have 2 different listeners. We have the people who are looking for businesses to live stream their events.
Yep.
And Tess came up with some questions that we should be asking. They should be asking the companies that they're looking to hire. And then we also have the viewers out there. What's up, guys? You event streamers out there, video production companies who are there either transitioned into live streaming from traditional video production or are a total television studio broadcast station style rental place.
Which, by the way, this is a perfect opportunity to plug that because we're the happy medium between people looking for streamers and for the people who are streamers, we have the certified studio program. So if you're PTZOptics customer, we will send you leads to do event streaming, whether it's in studio or out of studio. It's now been opened up.
Yes, that was a popular request there. Great idea. The StreamGeeks Certified Studio Program is a way for customers to find people who, we've kind of vetted. There's a little bit of a process to get onto there. And we know that they're qualified in your area. So we hope to have a list of every state in the country, other countries worldwide, known sources for video productions services. And then on the flip side, we also have the people who have actual studios. And that's kind of where I want to start this conversation. So there's three. All right. We got to start somewhere else, actually. Sorry, but we'll get to the studios soon because the studios are really interesting. And we have a live streaming studio here, and people are always asking us, "Hey, can we use your live streaming studio? We'll pay you. Can we use your podcasting studio? We'll pay you." No, it's our podcasting studio. No, just kidding. But regardless of that, I want to start with the two major live streaming systems out there that are just totally different, but they serve different purposes. And if you're looking for live streaming services, I want to know what you guys think about this. There's two different types. There's the television style, multi-camera, 3 cameras, 5 cameras, 10 cameras, 1 million cameras.
The PTZOptics style.
PTZOptics style. They're zooming in. They're showing close-ups.
Our favorite
overlays.
style.
They're fading. There's overlays.
The
Titles.
professional style.
There's
the
multiple
sexy
microphones. There's wireless systems. You know that you want that if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Style. Ooh.
That was the perfect time for that one. and then you have the IRL backpack. And people, we have to remember that people don't know what the IRL backpack is.
Yeah.
IRL, in real life.
Yes.
I want to call it bird's eye view, but it's really human's eye view of an experience where you have a camera mounted to you. Picture the biker who is, the footage where you get to see him from his helmet. It's similar to that, and we determined that that's probably best for expansive events like trade shows or a restaurant festival where you need to have cameras all over the place. Why not just have a high quality camera chasing everything with you? So that's kind of the gist with that. There's a good question coming in on the Facebook chat if you want to
let's do it.
cover it. Colin says, how are you guys communicating the value of the production costs to business people, decision makers who compare it to using an iPhone?
The
I can
classic,
totally see that.
I can get my cousin Danny to come out here with his iPhone.
Yes, exactly. And we actually did cover it in Michael's narrative, but for the podcast listeners, I think it's a great thing that people can whip out their phones and start live streaming. In a way, I think that strategy is incredibly important. So the consulting and training portion of what you're offering has to be seamlessly integrated into the reason why they should be looking into multiple cameras. Because, here's an example on the iPhone streaming system. If it's not done right, it can look like kind of a hostage scenario. And I borrow this from Scott Whitney, who had a lot of great insights for us when we interviewed him. People don't want to see a jumbly. iPhones don't have very good image stabilization. It's not meant to really be a camera. Guess what? It's meant to be a phone, people, a smartphone, not a live streaming system. But yes, you can live stream from it. The quality is not going to be great. You're not going to be able to stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. You better hope your Wi-Fi is good.
Yeah, you're not going to be putting it on your website unless you've pre-planned to have it embedded.
And guess what? It's good for some things. It's good for a quick update, a behind-the-scenes thing. Every tool, you got to talk about. You don't always talk about the con. There's pros, right? It's in your pocket. It's the best camera for the job is the one that you have, right? And that's what they have. So that's what they have. That's great. And a lot of people can't afford a multi-camera video production system. That's why they're considering hiring people. So people think that they can do that, and that's great, and they go out and like if you think that you can just take your phone and stream a outdoor event where you're walking around
Wi-Fi.
miles with no Wi-Fi, you're
Yeah.
crazy. We did that. We thought we could do that.
We've been there, and it was
it?
a
What,
miserable fail.
NAB 2 years ago.
NAB, yeah, last year.
NAB 2 years ago, NAB New York, we tried to live stream it with our phone. We stopped by the live view booth and they were like, "What are you doing? Why aren't you using a live view solo
You're like,
cellular
"What?"
bonded
Yeah.
situation?"
It was like sacrilegious.
And
yeah.
actually they were like, "You better
Leave.
get one now." And then we came back the next year. We had a full IRL backpack with a battery so we could go for 15 hours.
And guess what? We had quadruple the
Oh,
attention.
so much more.
The life of the views on the
Yeah.
stream, the afterlife of the stream as well. So that was a perfect example of, the quality does matter for the performance of the video online.
And if the quality doesn't matter to the customer, then you should there's no reason to
They're
even
probably not
talk to
calling
them.
you.
It's like, what's the point?
There, with the backpack, there is this sense of ease with it. All you gotta do is kind of turn it on and make sure it's connected and it's going. And so, like, you're more hands free.
You are. There's
Yeah.
less handling.
Yes.
It's just with you.
Yeah.
So that has been great, like our best friend for trade shows, because we're always striving to like, how can we share this experience beyond our booth studio setup that we have at some of our trade shows? And, the IRL backpack is a great implementation of that. I would be excited this year for NAB Vegas to do both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
One of us out in the crowd, and it's like, now back to you, Paul.
Yeah.
Well, and now that we've kind of talked about these two very different types that have very different applications, you can use them both. So you're absolutely right, Tess. One of our customers, Vid Summit, a YouTuber conference in Los Angeles, California, uses the IRL streaming backpack to live stream behind the stage and get people excited. And they'll stream that to Facebook and YouTube to get the social media out there. And I think that somebody streamed the whole conference the whole time
Yes. I forget
behind
his
the
name.
scenes, and you get to see everything. Daryl Eves.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the guy at NAB last year who did that. He was like the
Yes.
first
There-
one that I had seen that had done
and
that.
he had thousands of viewers live
Yeah.
for the NAB show.
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
crazy.
Daryl did a 24/7 stream, which is even more than the other guy did. Because
That's
I think the other
insane.
guy just did
Yeah.
every day, all day at NAB.
Yes. Now, so they used the IRL streaming and the social media streaming as a pull to get sales, to get virtual ticket sales, and they were selling virtual tickets to an event that was already sold out. And then they streamed multiple professional multi-camera systems. They were using vMix and PTZOptics cameras to a private content delivery network with a paywall. So you had to pay. And I'm telling you, I'm not allowed to say exactly how much money they made, but they were charging $200 a ticket and they sold thousands of tickets. Do the math.
You do the math.
I'm not that good at math.
A lot of money. And that's the best part of it all, because if you can, and here's something, for a video production standpoint, I've talked to a lot of people about this. Do you do something for a profit share?
Mhm.
Like, okay, you don't think we're going to sell a lot of virtual tickets? Now that means you have to take on some of the marketing and social media to do this. But how about I take 50% of the virtual ticket sales and we see how that goes? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then you end up with way more money than they were going to pay you anyway. Plus you're earning your keep, right? Like this wouldn't have happened. Like you literally wouldn't have any virtual ticket sales if we didn't live stream it.
Yeah.
So it's a great segue into, yeah, you're writing me a big check, or maybe you're writing them a check, right? Maybe you collect 100% of the profits from the virtual tickets and then you give them a 20% royalty. And it's like, hey, look, I'll give you 20% of the virtual tickets. I will live stream the whole thing
That's a
for
good
free.
idea.
And this might literally be a chance for video production companies to freaking sweep it up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another story that is on the other side of the fence where it's a little predatory. Okay, like because think about it, local theater, sold out, doesn't have any money to do a live stream or pay you to do it. You say, hey, look, how about I sell your virtual tickets for this event? It's already sold out. I know that 100 more people are going to pay $10 each or $100 each. And you start making more money than they do.
This is a good way
Right?
to start out if you're just starting out as a streaming company as well, to do some pro bono work to add that to your resume and to your files, but also to be gaining a little bit of money from it.
Yeah, and you'd be gaining money from it. And there's a company in the South, I'm not going to say who, but they will actually give schools video production equipment, live streaming equipment for free for 5 years of the rights to sell access to their live streams.
Ooh.
5 years. So all the parents that want to see their kids online, they have to pay every
Yeah.
single time. So the school, they go, oh, Mr. School, we've chosen you. You've been selected. You're very special. We're going to give you all your live streaming equipment for free. And then we're just going to, in the fine print, have access to sell rights to your streams for 5 years. And they end up making, it's predatory a little bit,
Yeah.
but they make up a ton of money. I feel like giving customers the option to sell virtual tickets where you're taking the lion's share of the revenue in return for your video production service isn't that predatory. It's not like here's a contract. I get 5 years worth of like
Yeah.
every stream you ever do.
And
But
your kids must come over and mow my lawn.
so I mean, it's good business practice, especially in the proof of concept stages, like you were saying, Tess. And there's so many proofs of concept. There's nonprofits that have no idea how much money they can raise. There's production companies, theaters, sports agencies have no
Local
idea
government
how much
events.
money they could be making by selling
Speaking
access.
of money, just for the podcast listeners, I want to cover what I think everybody's probably going to be looking for when they see this podcast, when they're in their searches. The money, the actual dollar amounts of what we are typically seeing based on a general consensus from our audience of what they're charging. Hourly rates are typically given most of the time with some sort of minimum amount of hours required to do the job, ranging from we have $100 an hour to $250 an hour. I saw as high as $500 an hour in the chat today.
That's true.
So I would go as far to say between $100 an hour and $500 an hour, depending on the area and much of the circumstances, which I'll just read out really quick just to make sure we get it on audio, the setup and breakdown, the length of the stream, the amount of equipment, cameras, microphones you need, the minimum hours of the event, any graphic design or marketing branding material that the provider would provide, if you're streaming and recording, if there are virtual ticket sales. The list goes on and on.
Yeah. And then the one cost savings thing that we talked about is that if you are doing an IRL stream, there is no setup or breakdown. You literally roll up with your backpack, guns
Yeah.
blazing.
So
and
that
you're
might
good to
be
go.
a cost-efficient
Yeah.
way for you to, host a stream, hire someone, purchase a stream.
If you have opportunity to have, to sell both services, then like a win-win.
Ed uses a day rate, which is definitely a common theme.
Mhm.
You get them for the
Mhm.
whole day, but you are paying that base price.
That makes a lot of sense.
Great idea.
Definitely, we talked about minimums. You got to establish what your minimum is and make sure it's within in budget.
Jonathan's bringing up the issue of copyright law for some of these events because they could be kind of spontaneous.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a really, really good point. And
The
there's
music.
there's
music
so
copyright.
much here. It's so in depth. Are you streaming to your page? Are you streaming to their page?
Yeah.
Are they streaming to 20 pages? With Facebook cross posting, how is it gonna run out? Another one that I think is interesting, and we've had some interest with local politicians. Hey, we're all voting tomorrow. Local politicians, they want to be reelected. They're sick and tired of streaming with their phone and having it get all glitchy and pixelated. So there's a lot there.
Questions coming in or comments coming in about private streams and some
Mhm.
platforms that you could access if you want to host a private stream. Castio, David is commenting on. We know Decast is one of them. Stream
Yeah.
Monkey.
There
all
are
I
so
got.
many out there. Stream Monkey, Decast come to mind. Castio.
What was that one where we had the guy from Canada? Or is
That was Castio.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Got
Castio.
it.
That was a good one. I mean, there's some and there's livestream.com. There's Vimeo, right? Vimeo is gearing up to be one of the big bad boys in the industry. They're doing more than just providing a paywall and live stream, but they're giving maybe your customer it's their own app. Maybe you're a customer creates enough content that they'd like to have their own HBO Go app. And we all know with these apps, the goal is that they're sticky. And what that means is that if it's on your phone and you see it right there, and you can, like the way that HQ Trivia did so well, it's on their phone,
Mhm.
it's their own app, and the notifications at 9 p.m. every
Yep.
single night. Hey, we're live. Imagine that. Just think about the opportunities of offering your customer their own app as a communication tool.
Especially with with HQ, they their prizes are cash prizes. So like in that
Mhm.
notification, you see
Oh
$25,000
yeah.
tonight. You're just
Yep.
like get the
HQ did a
FOMO.
great job. I know that they worked with Wowza in order to build a custom app. But hey, we didn't even talk about that. But if you're in the business of live streaming as a service, one of the great things about the way businesses work is that you can be a reseller and a partner for some really awesome companies like Wowza, who will help you be a reseller with them and actually develop apps. You don't even have to hire a developer. You're just kind of the liaison for your customer, developing the app, providing this service. So I think there's a lot there that we can
Yeah.
all work with. Um, so do you want to go to the end of that presentation real quick, Tess, so we can
Sure.
just cover the rest of it?
I don't actually have the presentation, but I have
Okay.
the points.
Okay, good. So the other last thing, there's two last bullet points here: training and consulting. Don't forget that you can. I wouldn't shy away from teaching your clients how to live stream. They're either going to hire you because they don't want to have anything to do with it and they're too
Mhm.
busy, or they're going to hire you to train and consult and maybe buy a system from you.
Great idea for a service ad,
Hmm.
training and consulting.
Or they hire you to be trained, and then after you train them, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna hire you anyway."
Yeah.
There's that too.
They're like, "I still don't want to do it."
That's a good point.
I mean, in order for them to be successful, sorry, double PTZ there. In order for your client to be successful, assuming that they're not in the live streaming world, they're going to need some consulting, right? They're going to need some training, and you should be able to convey that value. And it might be easier for you to consult over the phone, consult over a video call, consult in person where they actually come to you. Like that's the thing I like about studio time rental is that the customer comes to you.
Mhm.
So you can get rid of that breakdown and setup time by having a studio. And a lot of people have done really well with that. Scott Whitney from Podworks, wrong button again. There we go. Does a really good job with having a live streaming co-op where people can actually like kind of be part of a rental and scheduling scenario. And he has customers come into the studio all the time, and you could have tons of people coming in for studio time. They're still getting almost the same value as an event setup.
Mhm.
They're live streaming, high quality production, but you don't actually have to go and travel. They come to you, which
That's
is
a
nice.
sorry.
Yeah.
You go.
I was gonna say, studio where you don't have to travel, high
Mhm.
value, all your stuff's there.
Yeah.
Colin's saying that some businesses that he works with have their own studios, but hire them to remotely control their broadcasts.
Oh,
They just need a producer, a remote producer. Great question. Also coming in from Chad, what would the cost be of consulting? We've talked about this before amongst
yeah.
ourselves.
Consulting is an interesting one. It's
Mhm.
definitely different from setup. So it ranges all over the map. I mean, some people just do consulting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I
$100 an hour?
I was just about to say, like, your classic kind of for any,
Yeah,
kind
minimum
of tech
100.
minimum, $100 an hour just to have a
Just
conversation with
talking
me, just
Yeah.
talk.
over the phone.
Minimum.
Yeah.
I like 150. 200's getting to be like really
Depends who
high-end
you get to talk
consulting.
to. We've
Yeah.
talked about this before too.
Yeah, it depends.
Paul
who
would be the premium.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. That's something that I think is very important because the strategy behind all of this is just as important. Just streaming the event is great, but prompting somebody to share the stream could be the difference between. We talked about this in our voiceover a little bit. 6 degrees of separation. Everyone on social media, every single person is connected within 6 degrees. Now, I'm
Right.
not saying that you're going to get someone to share something and then they share something and they share something and then everyone in the world has seen it. No, that's not going to happen probably. But the power of a share, And that could be literally your consulting fee. It's like, how are we going to get people to share this?
Mhm.
How are we going to get people to
Interesting one.
engage? How are we going to get people to comment? How are we going to get people to share this with their Facebook group? How are we going to get people? Maybe the goal isn't shares and views. How are we going to get people off the stream to buy something from you?
Mhm.
Like just asking what the goals are and then using your video production tools, whether they be social media related, which Tess has found out tons of things of just specifically social media related, like watch parties in Facebook groups, tagging a nonprofit and automatically accepting donations that way. Have maybe accepting super chats through YouTube, which is a way to accept money directly through YouTube and then have fun things happen. Like we've had bubble machines and confetti cannons go off when we get $50 donations. How are we going to monetize this? And maybe the goals aren't sharing and getting 1 million likes or 1 million views. We want people to buy bars of soap,
Mhm.
whatever it is.
Soap.
We need people to be clean.
Indemnification clauses. I'm unfamiliar. Do you know?
Indemnification clauses
That's how
required to
unfamiliar I
cover
am.
yourself when live streaming. Maybe this is already covered. Bob McGrath is asking this in the chat. Indemnification clauses, what I call this, in a standard contract is the terms and conditions.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
you're not you're still going to get paid if XXXX happens. Like
Yeah.
the client's responsible for providing bandwidth.
Yes.
Now, I still think that if you're a professional live streamer and you're doing this for your business, you should have a backup LiveView Solo with cellular bonding. Everybody I know, literally everyone I know that does this for a living has one.
Yeah.
And you still plug in the Ethernet to it as a third or fourth connectivity, but everyone I know.
But if you have
has
these
backup.
services, protect yourself and your company with
Yes.
having these terms.
If
in.
the power goes out,
Yeah.
you're not
It's not your fault.
you're still going to get paid. All
Yeah.
the things that you should have in the terms and conditions.
Martin's asking about 2019. Do we think private companies will be encouraged to perform streaming? How do we see that in the next year, which is coming up
That's
soon?
a good one. New year coming up soon. Everyone's looking forward to the holidays. We all had a great year. Economy here in the United States has never been better. I read that since 2016 till now, the S&P 500 has increased 29% in the past 2.5 years. Businesses have a lot of money. Trump cut their taxes, corporate taxes. Not only are everyday Americans having more money in their paychecks now, some of the interest rates have gone up a little bit, which counteract that. People generally have more money. Businesses definitely have more
Yeah.
money to spend. And where do they put that money in a hot economy? Into marketing, into sales. Live streaming is so ripe. And I hope that Facebook allows us to boost things live one of these days. They're rolling out so many new features. They're holding that one.
Mhm.
Holding that one. And when they allow you to boost a live event, I was reading
They are
Inc.
holding that.
magazine. Inc. magazine had like 3 things that they said were like the top things businesses should be doing. And I also read about this in Forbes. And if you look at here's top 5 things your business should be doing to make sure it's cutting edge, and always live streaming is key. And what they say in particular, they don't even call it live streaming. They call it live engaging content. Live streaming an event might not be enough in 2019. You need to engage the online audience. As social media grows, as you get more YouTube subscribers, Facebook likes, as we've been fighting and growing our clan. Thank you all for being part of it. You become the online audience will generally outweigh the in-person experience. Yet, most people are only considering the butts in the seats, and they're
Yeah.
not thinking about the eyes on the screens. And there's way more people with smartphones, and it's a paradigm shift, but we've kind of gone through that shift. Okay, Facebook Live's 2.5 years old. We're going on 3. We're gonna buy a birthday cake for Mark Zuckerberg. He opened up the
You
doors.
should buy one for us. He's pretty
I mean,
rich.
we couldn't believe it. We could not believe it when we had our social media party and it was packed.
Yeah.
Social media people want to
I
know about
could.
streaming. Tess could. And by the way, it was mainly
Just kidding. I was
it
scared.
was mainly women.
It was.
Okay? And I think that that's going to be a huge growth factor. All right? Men have been dominating the technology space They have been still to this
Not
day
anymore. I'm out
the
here.
video production world.
What's
But
up?
you know, and Petra's here too. Women are coming in with this. They're interested in live streaming from a social media perspective, and women have a very unique perspective on marketing. I think women are really good marketers because it's about presentation.
Right.
It's about deep thinking.
What?
My wife is very
and all the brownie points.
she'll definitely tell you about that. Presentation's important. Women generally tend to care more about presentation and the way they look, but it also applies to the way the message is being presented. And I think now here's interesting. There's an interesting twist here, and I'm going to get off my rant for a second here. But I think that selling women like to like shop more, right, than men do, right? Women like to shop. How can we translate? And I think there's a lot of money to be made whoever figures this out. Translate live streaming, live engaging content into the shopping experience. QVC figured it out.
Yep.
And they're a multi-billion-dollar company right here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I could throw a stone to their studio, but I couldn't hit it because it's so gigantic.
Yeah.
They got new offices.
Much love,
in Japan,
Petra.
New offices. They're
Super chatting
globally
us.
expanding.
Yeah.
And they have their own. They're on cable. Cable's dead, and they're still expanding like crazy.
Yeah.
Where are the private businesses that are going to specialize in live streaming and selling stuff? I want to do that, for goodness sake. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh,
Petra's
nice.
paying for her shipping for her hat.
Thank you, Petra.
Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat. That is a payment through YouTube.
Fiat Ministry
which we have to-
looking for a cheaper solution than the live use solo. I doubt it. That's pretty.
I don't know any because I can't suggest any because I haven't used any. There are a couple out there. It might not be worth it. When you look at it, it's tried and true, and everybody recommends it.
Yeah.
And then so there's the women who understand streaming, and then there's the social media side of it. And I think that Tess, you can attest to this. You were in university not long ago, majoring in social media. Was it a female dominated?
Yes, communication studies was a
Communication
female
studies.
dominated
And I think that
area.
it's going that when we had our live streaming party, it was like all women. There was like two guys.
It was. That's the God's honest truth.
The interesting thing was the two men that came were video production live streamers.
Yeah, they were not.
They were into
social
the techie
media
side of it.
members.
The women who came were the social media managers. They're the ones who were like managing the events, setting up the events. So it's interesting. Are they going to want to buy a live streaming system and get a bunch of cameras? Maybe not. Maybe they want to rely on more technical people, which is generally men. But the women are getting in on this. They're getting more interested. And, it's not all men are this, all women are this, but it's a trend that we're seeing.
Larry's asking if we've run into any privacy concerns with IRL streams. I can
Good
think
question.
of one.
Well, tell me one. You
Like,
remember?
mostly just people that don't want to be on
Oh,
camera.
yeah, I remember that
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I
Like
remember
the
that.
girl
Yeah.
dressed as a deer at the Halloween party.
Yeah.
She was not happy with me.
Tessa,
dressed her.
that was funny.
So you have to be careful, letting people know that they are on camera and reading people's body language
Yes.
is
Yeah.
definitely maybe another one. Haven't mastered that yet. Like
Yeah.
the don't talk to me.
That was so funny. This girl had an awesome costume.
was
and
amazing.
We were like, wow, we love your costume.
So cute.
Do you mind if we show it on the live stream? And
She
we're
was like, "What?"
there's a camera already pointing directly at you. I mean, because I've done some IRL streams too, where I'm like, you're on camera. I feel like you need to almost hold a sign.
Yeah.
It's like
Maybe
we are
that's a
currently
good
live
idea.
streaming to Facebook. They don't sell those yet. Another idea. Somebody should sell a sign that says that. On
Yo,
Amazon,
Steve,
they'll
where
sell
you
a
at?
million
Yeah,
of
I'm
'em.
totally taking that idea.
They'll sell 1,000,000 of them.
You're on the live stream.
Some performers are under contract and can't be recorded in stream. Had it happen with bands.
Mhm.
Interesting.
That is
Yep.
interesting.
The whole copyright thing is another issue in itself, which maybe we
Yes,
could cover
which needs
again
a whole other episode
with more
honestly.
experience with these IRL streams.
Yes. I just think that the IRL streams open up a whole nother revenue avenue that event streamers are thinking, oh well, I can't do that. Like for example, the party that we live streamed, which was just a hoity-toity party, exclusive party. And literally the reason why they wanted us there was really to give everyone else FOMO who didn't come.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
They're like, why didn't I go to that? Look at this awesome live stream and video of how much fun everyone's having. I have like a martini in my hand because, like you said, Mike, it's hands-free.
Yeah, it's as someone that's been in like freelance video production, and this was the first time where after we got the whole thing up and running, I was like relaxed. I was like, yeah, I'll have this beer and just point the camera and press it. It was really cool.
It's an interesting thing. And there's things that you just simply can't do with any other technology. Now, and we talked about this, you can definitely mix technologies, right? It's like having two tools in a tool bag.
Yeah.
I love the thought of just sending someone anywhere, backstage to the Rolling Stones concert. Yeah, you've got your broadcast cameras and your awesome stuff and you're streaming the show, but why not send that guy backstage totally cable free,
Yeah.
cut to his feed? I mean, that's what the professionals do.
Yeah.
That's what they do on TV.
I'm like getting really excited for NAB like Vegas now. Like
Yeah, I know.
I'm like getting pumped
We're
up
gonna
over
like
into
send.
it.
We're
It's gonna
definitely
come up
gonna,
before we know it.
We're definitely all right. So our show is going to be a lot bigger and badder next year, and we're definitely going to be sending out like remote people. Like
I'd
all right,
like to
cut
redecorate the booth a little bit, the set part.
Yes. Yeah,
Maybe
the set.
add some flair to
I
it this
forget
year.
Who was doing switching for us, producing for us?
You were.
No.
For NAB.
It was
Las Vegas.
Jim Davis.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
it was
out Jim.
Davis.
So like,
I
yeah.
thought
I mean,
you were. That you did Infocom. That's why.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And Infocom.
You
Yeah.
were taking footage.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
But anyway, can't wait.
All right, so let's wrap up the podcast. We have a giveaway we got to take care of.
We don't.
Oh, we don't.
No, you told me to stop the Monday ones.
Oh, we got to bring it back. We'll bring it back for next week. I'm sorry, guys.
Moly!
Well, let's cue the podcast on that note.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week.
I just work here.
Well, maybe we'll see.
I-
What do you call
is-
that? Live streaming
Still got a lot of people hanging out with us.
All right, so what'd you guys think? I mean, we talked about a lot. We answered a lot of questions.
That was a great show.
This is a great topic.
Yeah, it was an awesome topic.
Oh, see, if you guys come into IBC next year, Tech Condo will volunteer. We are going to come to IBC. I talked to you about this. I want to.
We want to. Like
to-
us.
It's yeah, we definitely
Let
want
us know in
to.
the chat if you want us to come to IBC, if
Where
you
is-
will be there.
Where's IBC at?
It's in Amsterdam.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we'll see
So,
if we get the green
I
light.
wanna
think
go.
we
It's
could
questionable.
I think we could definitely pull it off. There's plenty of time until next. It was just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But I talked to Tim Vandenberg about it from VMix, and he was like, "I can't believe you guys didn't come." And then I was like, and like his opinion means a lot to me. And I was like, "Well, really?" And he's like, "Yeah, like, you gotta come."
He was like disappointed a little bit.
He was
in us.
disappointed because like he goes to all this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he's at TwitchCon for goodness sake.
He's
Yeah.
like, pick up your game, Paul.
Yeah. He's like, you can't send Pat and Matt. They don't know anything. No,
That's not true.
it's not true. They do know their shit, but it's just a different. It's a
This
different thing.
PG-13? Paul's cursing over here.
Ooh, no. Thanks so much, David. David Peltz gets a shout out for coming to our social media manager party, being one of the only men. It's like a female dominated industry now when you start reaching out to the social media managers. And
Ladies,
ladies,
hands up.
showing up for the party. And then actually it was so great. David ran out and grabbed
Cookie tray.
Rock star.
cookie tray and name tags for everybody.
Our
Aw.
audience members are like the best.
Yeah.
I don't know
Bob's
what's.
gonna be at
I gotta find a
WFX.
different word
Yes.
besides
I'll see you
audience
there.
members, like geeks.
Geek den.
or This is the geek den, but
Our gang.
our gang, gang.
Geek gang.
Geek gang.
Geek gang.
I like that, Michael. Very good.
Gang.
Our geek gang is the bomb. Did you even press that?
I did not.
I did
Oh.
it.
Oh, that tripped me out because I was like, wait, he didn't even touch the button.
Yeah. Tim and Petra both came to that conclusion.
Ah.
Yeah. It's fun. We want
And
to be
Petra
there.
would volunteer to help us.
That would be
awesome.
very nice. Yeah, we're gonna need someone to help switch the cameras and everything.
Paul will be there to meet you or see you, Bob, at WFX.
Very excited about that show.
Meet Paul Richards in the
Count.
flesh. He
David
will be
says
signing
community
books.
members. I like community members as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Geek count. Geek count is going up. By the way, shout out to us getting, oh no, that's PTZOptics.
10,000 YouTube
5,000
subscribers.
Facebook group members. We have to
5,000.
get StreamGeeks to catch up. So if you're watching on YouTube, please, I'm just going to shamelessly plug ourselves. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and subscribe
One
on
last
Twitch.
thing I wanted to mention, by the way. See how it says Westchester Historical Society Halloween Ball? Before each show, we have to hit the edit button on Twitch. Someone's got to add that to the workflow. I call, not me.
I'll do it.
Why is it?
Nose goes.
Yeah, you have to change the title unless it's just gonna be like live stream. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
Well, it's too late now. Tess, the show's over.
It'll be on demand for a few days.
Okay. All right. But I think that's the channel, though. It's not the video itself.
All right, I'm just gonna make it live stream then.
Live stream, engaging live content. So it was so much fun. Thank you guys for watching. We really had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next Monday is going to be I think we're actually, you know what the topic's going to be?
What?
How to produce engaging live content. We're going to talk about all the engagement things that you can do.
We should like go back to the vault and bring up the crazy stuff we used to do.
We're going to do the bubbles and everything.
No, but I'm thinking like go back to when we would do the Facebook reaction polls.
Yeah, we're going to do that too. We're
The
gonna do it
data
all.
sources when we had like
Data
18
sources.
million different things.
I do. We
going
have
on.
to do it all.
So bad.
It's going to be that. Those are tricky shows to do all the engagement and show how you did it.
Are you going to be in next Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
Tuesday I leave.
Okay.
I'll be gone Tuesday. Are you going to be here next Monday?
I'm not going to be here next Monday.
Is there going to be a day next
shit.
week when I'm going to be alone?
Like
Tuesday?
Monday, like next. No, I'll be in Tuesday though.
Well,
Yeah.
so then, oh my gosh, I wonder if Brian can switch, or we should just cancel the show,
Or just do like a
or
static.
just do a podcast.
Just do a podcast.
It's up to you guys. It's not like we haven't done it before.
On our first live stream.
It's not our first rodeo.
We'll figure it out. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for being
Thanks,
part of
everybody.
our post-show meeting over here.
Bye bye.
Bye.
I like to get to show people everything.
Yeah. All the fights.
Tess
And
doesn't
Paul
wanna be all
tells
alone
me
at the
to
office.
cancel
Hey,
the giveaways.
there will at least be an intern with a burrito here, no matter what.
An internal burrito.
An intern with a burrito.
Oh, an intern burrito. He will be here
Yeah.
if he doesn't run away because school is crazy.
Yeah, he's got finals now.
Yeah. You're
So
getting a reaction. You're getting like red here.
really,
I'm gonna freak you out
I'm
now.
definitely having some funny reactions to the Zyrtec stuff.
Uh-oh. Good thing you're walking home.